Hi and welcome to another junk journal with me. Today I'll be working in 3 different spreads, and I'm starting out by trying to incorporate this homework that I did for my calligraphy course. We had to use different kinds of font, and we had to make one of the letters stand out, which is why I had the P in the shape of a mushroom. And I'm going to fold this now in a way that I saw from a video from Victoria Designs, which I'm linking below. It's a very cute video on how you can fold envelopes in Jane Austen style, the different methods, and yeah, so it's a tutorial of how you can do that. And it's a very cute video. I really would like to encourage you to go watch that. And I'm going to use this beautiful bee wax seal to actually make a closure, but I'm not actually going to put the wax seal on the letter directly because I do want to be able to open it easily without having to break the seal. So I'm doing it on this parchment paper. And I'm of course linking this wax seal below. It is from AliExpress. It has a beautiful bee on it. I'm also linking these wax sticks. They're not the best, but they're okay. So as you can see here, they do their job, but I think there are better quality ones. So it turned out quite nice. And here I have some already pre-made. So just as another tip for you, you can pre-make some, then it's of course much quicker when you want to journal, and you can just glue those wherever you want. So those are handy to have. So now I'm just going to take this seal and just put some white glue on it and glue that so that I can still open the top when I want to without having to break it. So very simple, and I think it's a very cute way of doing it. So now I'm just going to find a page in my no-sew journal on which I would like to add that. And it's so interesting, when I flip through my journal now, my style has actually even changed while working in this journal. Like, I feel myself moving more and more away from all the girly pages, from too many florals and too much lace. And having said that, I will be adding lace later today. But I don't know, I just feel like I'm moving away from the girly pages, but that's okay. Now what I'm showing you here for the second spread is some free printables from the Old Design Shop blog, which I'm also linking below. I just printed these on smooth 100 and I think 60 GSM paper, and I adore these. They have so many amazing freebies on their blog, so I definitely suggest you check them out if you're able to print something. And this time I'm going to be working in Allison's journal because I think this style works really well for Allison's journal. And I am linking Allison down below, of course, as well, her Instagram. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but she does have an Instagram. And I decided to use this piece, and of course I'm inking it up, and I'm going to actually attach that to be a pocket. Although I had no idea what I was actually going to put in, but I was going to figure that out later. So for now, I'm just going to glue those 3 sides. All the pages I'm doing today are actually fairly simple. You don't always have to do a whole lot to make a pretty spread, I think. So now I'm just going through and seeing what else I can do on the opposite page. And I'm taking one of these amazing street cards. I don't know what you'd actually call them, address cards. And I'm just going to staple that on top with a tiny stapler. And I'm going to use that kind of like a tuck spot. And now I'm looking for things that I can add to that tuck spot. And I definitely also wanted to use one of those price tags. And of course I'm inking everything up. Okay, so I was happy with that, and now I had to find something that I could add to the pocket. And I didn't choose any of these actually, but rather I chose this flashcard that came in a Happy Mail recently. I just love flashcards. And I decided to make a quick decoration on one side. So I took this wide grid washi, which is also AliExpress, and I'm also linking that below. And I'm choosing a part that has a plant there. So I just wanted to do a very quick little decoration or mini collage, maybe you could say. So I'm just trimming that down to the sides of the card. And then I'm going to look for another focal point because I thought that wasn't quite enough. So I'm going through my pre-cut floral images, which are from a vintage wildflower book. So here I am going to audition a few and see how they would look. For some reason I didn't like the combination of that pink with the blue. I did prefer the yellow. And I'm just trying to see which one I would like best, and I believe I go with that one. Yeah, so I just ink it up and put glue stick on the back, and then I'm just gonna add that on top, and that's a finished card which I turn into a journaling card by just adding some coffee dyed paper on the back. And then you will see what I wanted to add was a quote. And I've recently started, as you've probably seen all over YouTube at the moment, or since a few months probably, is a commonplace book. So when I first saw these, without having watched any of the videos, I was like, really, do I need another journal? Like, I have so many already. Why do I need another one? I don't see the point. But then I watched Jordan Clark's video and then a few others, and I'm like, okay, I do need one. And this was the quote I wanted to write on that card. And basically it's just a collection of quotes and thoughts and things that inspire you, which is why I like having it, because we forget the good things that we hear or we read. So this is one place to keep it all. And the great thing is, it's nothing that you have to do daily or weekly. Whenever you want, you just add something. And you could also just write it down without doing any decoration as well. I would suggest you go watch Jordan Clark's video. It's very cute and it's short and it's so well done. So maybe you'll start your own if you don't have one already. And I wanted to write this quote, of course, with my calligraphy pens, since I want to practice as much as I can. I am still a newbie, so please don't judge. I'm about 6 weeks into my course, and I'm just showing you the nib here. I'm using a 1mm flat nib and black ink, and I'm using my brush to put the ink on the nib. And I am writing in this old script which was developed 2nd and 3rd century, and it didn't really have any lowercase and uppercase letters. They were just starting that. And yeah, I gave it my best shot. It's not totally centered, but I'm okay with it. I think it's quite all right. And then I wanted to also add like a border on top and on the bottom. And I was looking for these stamps. I'm pretty sure they're from AliExpress. I was looking for them and I couldn't find them anymore for some reason. So what I linked for you below is my other swirly floral border stamps, which are very, very cute. And if you've seen my other recent videos, I've used them in there. So I've linked those again, and hope you'll be happy with those because they are amazing. I don't know where these have gone. They're just gone. They're not even in my order list anymore, which is really weird. Anyway, so I'm happy with the way that looks, and I'm just going to stick that into that pocket. For some reason it's upside down, but it's okay. And now you're gonna see something a little different. I'm gonna show you in Vienna. This is our Albertina building, and the Albertina is a museum these days. It used to be a palace of the Habsburg family that used to live there for about 100 years, and now, as I said, it's a museum. And I was there with 7 friends. One of my friends is leaving or has left in the meantime, and organized a last event which was called a what was it called? A mystery hunt. And these are the rooms we were in. I mean, they're just gorgeous. And I'm going to read you what it says about this game because it's so fun. I've never tried anything like this before, and the things I'm going to add to my journal to the next spread are just ephemera from that game because it fits so well to my journal. So you'll be seeing me adding those, but in the meantime I wanted to read you what this game is. So it says, can you become a member of the royal court? You are invited to an extravagant ball at the Albertina Imperial Palace, home to the absolute elite of Vienna. This is the chance of a lifetime. If you can marry someone from the Habsburg family, your future will be secured. But first, you must prove that you are worthy of the royal court. The guests here are snobbish, eccentric, and very powerful. They may kiss you on the cheek or stab you in the back. In these rooms, wars are planned and marriages decided. This is the character I was playing. By the way, that's why I have her there. In these rooms, wars were planned and marriages decided. Will you impress everyone and triumph in the ballroom, or will you stumble and fall and never enter high society? Welcome to the party. The Mystery Hunt is a 100% analog product that consists of beautiful old envelopes filled with tasks that challenge your intellect while strengthening cooperation and personal relations. So this is what we were doing, and we had so much fun. Like, there's a lot of silly games that you have to play, like they're challenges, but they're just so much fun. Like, for example, you see this card here, and I journaled on the back already about the event. So one of the games was that you had to put your head through this cardboard frame, and you had to make an expression of one of these 9 figures that were on that card, and everyone has a different one that they're supposed to do, and the others have to guess which one you're making. But if you see on the card, none of them are making any extraordinary faces, so they all look pretty much the same. So you have to just with your facial expression try to mimic which person it is. And so it's so much fun. I don't know if you ever have been to anything like this. If this exists in other countries, let me know if you know about something like this. But I thought it was hilarious, and everything was in English, so that was cool. And everybody had to play a different character, and these are just all bits from the different challenges that we had. So this was from a riddle. You had to look at something in the way the chandelier was made, and then you found out the clue to which envelope you open next, etc. And the idea was that you were collecting, or that everyone had an engagement ring, and they had different values depending on how many carats they had. And of course you want to have one of the highest ones because you want to present it then to someone from the Habsburg family to marry into the family. So you have various chances within the game to trade or to look at other people's rings to see what they have. And yeah, so the best 3 at the end got to propose, and they got to marry into the rich family. But the thing was, so there were 3 women you could marry. We all had to play men, actually. And one was the princess, and she was beautiful and of course rich, and everything was fine. And then the second one was the baroness, and the baroness looked horrible. they always had a picture of the person that you were going to marry, and the Baroness was just, she had horrible black and horrible teeth. And the third one was the lady, and the lady was like, I don't know, she looked like 80 years old. So the only lucky one was really the one that got to marry the princess. But yeah, it was hilarious. And so I put everything in this envelope that I wanted to keep, and I wanted to decorate the envelope a little bit more, which is why I made this little cluster of lace. And I wanted to somehow attach that to the envelope. And I didn't know yet at this point how I was going to do that, but I did feel like it needed something else, so I took out my buttons. And I was trying to find a white button that I could add there. And then I was thinking like, well, do I just glue it on, or how do I attach it, or how do I attach the whole thing? I wasn't really sure what I was doing, so I thought, okay, let me just glue this on, and of course it didn't stick the first time, so it came off again. But then I thought, okay, rather than gluing the whole thing on, why don't I take a little bulb pin, and I'm just gonna stick that through the front of the envelope and then glue the button on one more time.
I've been feeling emotional, thinking about you, babe. What can we focus on? What we should do? Tell me the truth, 'cause I don't wanna see you with somebody else. And I've been feeling lonely in this king-size bed. I'm trying not to work.
Yeah, there you see a little close-up. I think that's really cute, and I think it really fits well on the page, because you see on the right bottom you have this little lace from another tag that's sticking out from another page. And now I'm just going through my ephemera folder, because I did want to add something else on that little cardboard ring box with the ring in it. I just wanted something on top, like it was missing something. So here I'm just going through my round ephemera bits in my new ephemera folder. I have linked that below in case you want to see how I made that and you missed it. I followed a video by Gail Agostinelli, but she glued hers and I sewed mine. And yeah, I chose this one, which was from a Happy Mail from, I believe, Amy. And I thought the colors worked well with the colors on the opposite sides. And I think also the two sides of the spread fit nicely together, actually, from the theme. And do I do anything else? Oh yes, I do. I wanted to write the date on the envelope, which was September 1st, when we had this little mystery hunt. And so of course I wanted to also calligraphy that. So I just made some guidelines for the top and the bottom of the writing, and I'm making these slanted lines, which are 10 degrees, because I wanted to do this English font which is slanted, which I really love. I haven't really had time to practice any of the fonts in detail, because we're learning so many different kinds of fonts that I'm mixing everything up. I think I've mentioned that in another video. So I always have to make sure I know what the letters actually look like before I write them. So I'm again using my number one, my 1mm flat nib, and as I'm writing that, I don't know what happened, but the one, it was like a thread was on the nib or something, I don't know, but the one all of a sudden was wider, and I didn't like that at all. I mean, I could have just left it, it wasn't so bad actually, but yeah, I didn't like it at the time, and so I decided to do it again on a coffee stained paper. So here you see me writing that again, and after that was dry, I just erased my guidelines. It's also not perfect, but it's gonna be okay for this. I'm gonna need a lot more practice, but I really, really love it. I always hated my handwriting, and I don't know if this is actually gonna help my handwriting, but I know now that if I take my time, I can write nicely if I want to, but my regular handwriting I think is going to be pretty much the same. And I just wanted to put that over the other one, and rather than inking it up with distress ink, I'm just going along the edges with my jet black ink to give it a crisp border. Now I'm just gluing that over the other one, and yeah, there's the envelope. I'm very happy with that. It's a great way to for memory keeping for this event. I will totally treasure that. And I'm just sticking all the little bits inside. And there's my finished third spread. So I hope you enjoyed that. Go check out the links of the other videos I mentioned, and hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye!